Let me tell y'all something real right now. You want to know how a man feels when that woman he used to take for granted moves on and she don't say a single word? No goodbye, no speech, no argument, no tears. Oh, let me tell you what that does to a man. That hurts. That messes with a man's ego, his mind, and his soul. Because see, men expect noise. They expect you to yell, to cry, to beg. That gives him control. That gives him reassurance. He still got you emotionally. But when you get silent, oh, ho, ho, that's when the game changes. A silent exit speaks louder than begging ever could, because it's not just about the absence of words. It's about the presence of strength that a man didn't think you had. It's about the control you reclaim without needing to explain yourself. It's about walking away with dignity when you could have stayed and fought for a man who already stopped fighting for you. And see that kind of silence? That kind of silence shakes a man's ego in a way that loud tears and dramatic exits never will. Because men are used to noise. They expect it. They know how to handle it. They know how to tune it out. They know how to argue back, twist your words, make you second guess your feelings. And before you know it, you're apologizing for having standards, for having feelings, for wanting to be loved the way you deserve. But when you go silent, when you stop texting, stop calling, stop checking his story, stop trying to make him see your worth, that's when he notices, because silence is unfamiliar territory for a man who thought he could always keep you around with just enough attention to keep you confused, with just enough charm to keep you hoping, but not enough love to make you stay. And when you don't beg, don't cry, don't explain, you send a message so loud it echoes in places he didn't know existed. It's like an earthquake in his spirit, because it means he lost you while he thought he still had time. It means he waited too long to grow up, to show up, to change. And now that you're gone, truly gone, he has no idea what to do with the silence you left behind. Because it's not just about you not being there. It's about you not needing to say a single word. And let me tell you something. A woman who leaves without noise is a woman who healed in silence. A woman who spent nights crying into her pillow while he was out acting like he was single. A woman who begged in her own mind for him to choose her, but never got picked. A woman who replayed every conversation hoping she wasn't crazy for wanting more than breadcrumbs, and the day she decided to stop talking, stop explaining, stop hoping, that was the day she chose herself over the illusion of love. And when a woman chooses herself with no announcement, with no drama, with no need for a final conversation, that's when a man realizes he was dealing with someone who finally understood her worth. You see, men are programmed to think love means effort, drama, passion, fire. They don't understand that the most powerful move a woman can make is to disengage completely, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, just detach, because silence is the moment she recognizes that her energy is no longer being reciprocated, that her loyalty is being taken for granted. And instead of demanding him to fix it, she just pulls back. And once she pulls back, everything in his world starts to shift. The texts stop. The comfort of knowing she'll always be there fades. And he doesn't even know when it happened. He doesn't even realize the last time she texted first was the last time she ever would. He doesn't know that the next time he opens his messages looking for her name is going to be missing. Not because she blocked him, not because she hates him, but because she simply outgrew the need to explain her worth to a man who never took the time to see it. That's what a silent exit does. It flips the script. It rewrites the ending he thought he controlled, because most men think they can come and go, break you down, and pick you up when they're ready. But when a woman walks away without giving you the satisfaction of a dramatic goodbye, you start realizing just how much noise she used to make just trying to be heard. And now that she's gone, that silence becomes unbearable. That silence is loud enough to haunt him, because it speaks truth he wasn't ready to face. It tells him that she's not coming back this time. that she doesn't need closure, doesn't need to hear sorry, doesn't need one last heart to heart. She doesn't even need to know why, because she already knows enough to never turn back. And see that right there? That's when it starts eating at him, because you leaving quietly means you didn't just walk away from the relationship. You walked away from the hope that it would ever get better, from the illusion that he would change. And when you leave the illusion behind, you free yourself in a way words never could. You take your power back in the most graceful way, and nothing scares a man more than a woman who's moved on with peace, not pettiness, because he don't have nothing to fight, nothing to argue with. He can't say you overreacted. He can't tell people you went crazy, because you disappeared like a storm that passed through and left stillness behind. And now he's sitting in that stillness wondering how he lost something so loyal, so patient, so giving. And he's realizing now it wasn't that you stopped loving him, it's that you started loving yourself more. And that kind of love don't need an explanation, don't need to be shouted, don't need to be proven. It just is. And when it leaves quietly, it becomes unforgettable. It becomes the standard. It becomes the moment he finally understands what it means to miss someone who outgrew needing to be missed. When she walks away quietly, it shakes a man's soul, because it shows she's truly done. Not angry, not emotional, not looking for one last fight, not trying to prove a point, but done in that cold, calm, peaceful kind of way that makes a man sit in his own silence and realize he's not in control anymore. Because a woman who leaves without noise is a woman who spent too many nights crying behind closed doors, questioning her worth, doubting her value, trying to shrink herself to fit into a space too small for her heart, too tight for her love. And when she finally stops showing up with explanations, with effort, with apologies for needing something real, that's when it hits him in a place deeper than any argument ever could, because he never believed the day would come when she'd go without needing to make him understand, without asking for closure, without needing one last look, one last hug, one last chance to be chosen. And when that day comes, it don't come with fireworks or warning signs. It just comes with silence. And that silence becomes the loudest wake-up call a man will ever hear. It's in that quiet departure that he realizes the love he took for granted was never going to bear forever, that her patience wasn't infinite, that her kindness wasn't weakness, that her loyalty wasn't something he could keep testing while he entertained distractions, played emotional games, made her feel like an option while expecting to be her only priority. And now she's gone, not temporarily, not for attention, but because she's tired, she's exhausted, she's empty in all the places he once filled with. Broken promises and temporary affection. And now that she's no longer arguing, no longer explaining, no longer waiting, there's a coldness in the air he can't escape, a stillness in her absence that feels like 1,000 unanswered questions living inside his chest. Because deep down, he always believed she'd be there no matter what, no matter how many times he let her down. And now that belief is broken, and he's left with the realization that there's no fixing this. He thought he had time. He thought she'd always be the one to reach out first, to forgive first, to try again first. But what he didn't see was that every time she forgave, a part of her was fading, a piece of her trust was dying, and by the time she left, it wasn't sudden, it was slow, it was silent, it was steady. And now he's waking up to an empty space that used to be filled with love, with care, with presence, and there's no one to blame but himself, no one to argue with. Because she didn't leave to make a scene, she left to find peace. And that shakes a man more than any loud exit ever could, because now he's left to sit with himself, to sit with the version of him that pushed away someone who was all in, someone who would have given him everything if he had just chosen her the way she chose him. He starts remembering the little things, the good morning texts, the way she listened when he spoke, the way she stood by him even when he gave her reasons to walk away, the way she believed in him when he didn't believe in himself. And now all those memories hit different. Now they feel heavier, sharper, because they're not coming back. They're just echoes now, echoes of what used to be. And that realization does something to a man's pride, to his spirit, to the part of him that thought love could wait forever, that she'd always be his safety net, his home base, his soft place to land. But she's gone now. And she didn't leave a note, didn't leave the door crack open, didn't leave a trail of hints for him to follow. She just left. And that kind of leaving is a message in itself. It says, I don't need you to understand why I left. I don't need you to feel bad for how you treated me. I don't even need you to miss me, because I'm not coming back this time. And when a woman gets to that level of